What's up, guys? Bonafide Hustler here.
The college pickers here.
All right, so welcome to our Green Room Hangout on Wednesday night. It's a live show. This is going to be a really fun show, going back to kind of like roots type stuff, like really fun things to talk about. We're going to be talking about our best flips of 2016. And I did put eBay and Amazon, but I just realized that one of the flips that I'm going to talk about has to deal with the antique booth as well. So anyways, I'm the Bonafide Hustler. I am one of the admins of thegreenroomuniversity.com. Definitely go check it out. I buy and resell stuff I find from garage sales, estate sales, yard sales, flea markets, pawn shops, swap meets, big box stores, and I put it on places like eBay, Amazon, Craigslist, my antique booth, and consignment stores in town, such as Play It Again Sports. Anyways, I'll hand it over to Eric.
So he talked mostly about, or he posted it, it's going to be most about eBay and Amazon, but he didn't even mention that most of my stuff is actually on Etsy that I had flipped this year, clothing-wise. And showing Amazon stuff is actually really hard. If you know the Amazon seller app, there's only like this idiot little tiny micro picture with
terrible.
really, really bad resolution, and you can't really see or explain very well with the Amazon stuff. So we're going to try to kind of do the best we can. So if we don't get to a bunch of Amazon stuff, I apologize for that. My name's Eric. It's actually Thursday morning over here. I am in Bangkok, Thailand right now. I do every single day of my life. I go back to the States and do it in batches now. And I'm over here working on a lot of other things other than strictly eBay and Amazon. It's adding to my overall hustler mantra.
Yeah, isn't like the world's most entrepreneurs are in Thailand? Is that true?
Dude, it's crazy. I met this guy just because he spoke English, and the way he was working at a they have these restaurants over here where it's like a food court, but it's all owned by the same person, and you don't pay with cash. You go to like his cashier, you get a card because they don't want to handle money because it's very dirty. So you get this card, and then you pay with the card to each vendor, but the vendors are all owned by the same guy. The way the guy was working and his English was so good, I was like, dude, are you the owner? And he was like, yeah, I'm the owner. I was like, you work like an owner. Like, you don't work like a worker, and your English is so good. And he was from Indonesia. No, he's from Malaysia, sorry. And he came here, and he started a business, and he's making a killing doing it. So there's like a ton of entrepreneur.
Yeah, there are a ton of entrepreneurs there, right?
Opportunities over here. Yeah, I'm gonna try to go to a conference or a seminar or whatever where they get together in one of the buildings here.
Cool. Yeah, Chiang Mai, or so Thrifty Flipside in the comments says Chiang Mai or something like that. There's tons of digital nomads go there. So
yeah, Chiang Mai is really popular for the digital nomad thing. It's just a big city, really. Like, it's a big city where you don't speak the language, so it's kind of frustrating at times, but it's cool.
Let me ask you this: do they have pizza in Bangkok?
Yes.
All right, cool. Anyway, so let me shout out some people in the feed real quick. I had to ask that question because you told me that you live in a very like almost like a U.S.
Yeah, it's like a foreigner district. It's really,
it doesn't make any sense, but when I visit you, I guess it'll make perfect sense. Let me take a second to do the sound check because we don't want to go through a whole hour of the show and then sound like total garbage. So let me know if I sound good. Okay, very important. We have 104 viewers right now, and it's climbing pretty rapidly. I do want to get into the feed and shout out some people. I'm very thankful to have an audience and have you guys listening to us. So we have AZ Mick, Julie Johnson. I see Green Room members. If you're a Green Room member, by the way, put GR into the feed. Jennifer M. We have Dad Life, Henry S. Darren Eckelman, Mischievous Mal, Mises Pieces, Thrifty Flipside, Who Be the Real, Trevor Stevens, Cody from Australia, Michael Paragon, JetMD 1967, Lisa James, Miners Treasures, who I might be meeting up with in Austin soon, Michael Cook, In the Sun by the Beach. That is one of my favorite names of tonight, by the way. In the Sun by the Beach. I love that one. Brandon
That's
English,
like flip-flops only.
I love that one. Vintage Made, Cosmic Thrifter, Henry S. And Henry S., thank you so much for the Christmas card, by the way. I did get it. I loved I opened it right outside of my house on a beautiful day. And Henry S., thank you so much for the Christmas card. That really made my day. Okay, so let's get to this show. Let me get to see if we sound good. And this is going to be kind of an interactive show. So when we go through something and you have some input to it, go ahead and put it in the feed. Hopefully the feed
I'm trying to look
so
at
fast
comments,
and we can't.
They're going fast.
I'm hoping they don't go super fast and that we can actually make it a
type really slow, people.
Okay. So let's start this off. Sounds good. Good. That's all we need to know. Now, the way that we're going to do this show, I would love to say that we're going to do a screen share type show, but that's likely to get things really messed up. Between two of us screen sharing, it's not going to be very good. So
it's going to waste a lot of time kicking back screens and screens. So just holding something up in front of the camera will be a lot
Yep.
easier.
So he's going to be holding up like a tablet, and I'm going to be holding up something that's called a cell phone, right? And I hope you can see pictures like this, because this is going to be item number 1 that we're going to talk about today. This item I picked up while I was garage sailing. So if you look at my early 2016 videos, it was in January. I know that much because I had to look this up on eBay. This is an I think it's a 1900. Large format Epson and R1900. Yeah, because these are Google images, by the way. Like, it would have taken me forever to find. I have thousands of pictures of the flips that I've made this year. So it would take me forever, right, to find and locate these pictures. So I went to Google Images, and I'm going to teach you guys through that way. So hopefully it doesn't offend anybody.
Oh, that's not the actual printer.
That's not the actual printer, bro.
Dude,
like, someone bought it from me.
How do we know you really flipped it if that's not the actual
shut up,
printer?
dude. Okay, anyway. So yeah, I'm going to show you guys through Google Images. And this is not really the way I'd like to do the show. I'd love to have the printer here. I would love to actually have the pictures that I used, but I would still be screenshotting them anyway, because we don't want to do the screen share type stuff. So hopefully you can see this printer. This is a large format printer that I bought in January of 2016. The funny thing is, Raken was in town in that January. This thing sold so fast. Raken was in town. I had a runny nose. We started the morning off buying kolaches at a place. And we went hustling with a green room member who is Andrew Garden. You know who I'm talking about, right? Garden.
Ham Jams.
Ham and Jam show. So yeah, he's one of the green room members, and so we went in his Dodge Caravan, and he was like a Lyft or Uber driver then, and so he had a little pink mustache thing at the very front. Asking him all about his day. I was filming, right? It is on my channel, so if you can locate it, it's a very dreary day. We come across a garage sale where I spend $60, okay? And I don't just buy this printer. I buy a really cool, it's hard to explain, but it's in the green room, but it's a camera that like folds out of a box, and it has the bellows and everything, and it's got gold accents to it. It's so cool. It sold for like $159.99, just that camera. That was $30. I also got an Epson R900 large format printer for $30. Now, Eric, large format printers, why do they call them large format, Eric?
Large format printers are called large format because they take a piece of paper larger, hence the name large format, than 8.5 by 11. They take these like more poster, not really poster, but in between like poster board and like an 8.5 by 11. So it's like, it's a big piece of paper that you could print something to hang up a nice photo or wall.
Okay. And the funny thing is, Andrew N is in the feed right now, so that's my proof that I actually did this flip. So I did walk up on this garage.
You're on Google Images,
dude. It was even drizzling the day I picked this thing up, right?
11 inches by 17.
Okay, 11 by 17.
So much.
It was raining that day. This thing had a little bit of rain on it. I mean, it was about to pour, but I pulled this thing. I rescued it. I threw it in his van, and he was there, so he can vouch for me. This thing sold within 10 minutes, okay, for $769.99 on eBay. Within 10 minutes of listing it. So, and that was asking price too, which was nuts. Like, there was no offer or no BO or attach a sale to it or anything like that. It was just like, let me see if I can get, and that was top of market back then for a used untested printer. I did not even print a test page, CP. Isn't that crazy?
You did it untested, so yeah, you don't need to.
Yeah, I put untested on this one. So, so Texas God Treasure says your video's cutting out a little bit, so check that out. Maybe come back in and go out, come back in. I can handle the show.
Is the audio at least good, or is it just the video?
I think it's both, man. I think it's both. So you can retry it. It's not a huge deal. So how many of you guys out there flip printers, first of all? Because this is different than normal printers that you find out there. If you're going to find printers out there, CP, toner printers are really good. Would you say better than inkjet toner printers? Yes or no? On a flip side.
Oh yeah, for the most part, you're gonna want to do toner stuff.
Okay, and then when I deal with inkjet, I usually do that based upon Craigslist flips. Like, I buy it from Craigslist, someone that has it new in box, won in a contest, never used. That's when I'll get into an inkjet. But usually at garage sales, I don't mess with inkjets, because a lot of times, Eric, at garage sales, the inkjets, the heads are just they're usually messed up. Clogged. Yeah. Correct?
Yeah, they get clogged.
Okay. So John Bednar has flipped printers. Yeah, and the funny thing is, this was one of 3 large format printers I had flipped in 2016. One of 3. The other one that I got was like an R1500, and that one sold for $300 on eBay within day one. That was an $8 pickup. And then I found another one that was really, I don't know, it was like $10 and completely, like, I even have a cracked like feeder. How do you call it? The little paper feeder thing, like that was cracked. I sold that one in town for like 120, or was it 100? I moved it on Craigslist. So, yeah, and so that's what you can do. Those are all untested. I didn't print any pages out of them, nothing. The fact that you're messing with a large format, it seems that Epson's a pretty decent brand. I'm only speculating. CP, help me out. Is Epson pretty good when it comes to large format?
Yeah, Epson and Canon are probably one of the better ones for the large format stuff, for printing photos and stuff.
Adrian says, do you usually test printers before selling, or do I list untested? I list untested. College Picker is really good at doing ins and outs of printers, but a lot of times when you see something that's unclogged, is it a toner printer or is it an inkjet?
Well, the toner ones don't get clogged because there's no liquid.
Like ever, right?
Yeah, you're gonna have toner, but it's not gonna be clogged.
Okay.
So it's just the way that it's made. It uses a powder and heat rather than using like a nozzle and like liquid.
Okay, I want to ask a question out to the feed right now, and be honest with me, guys. Okay, do you have a toner printer or an inkjet printer? This is going to make CP irate right here. I can already tell. And the funny thing is, I got rescued from an inkjet printer from College Picker. He came and visited me like what, 3 years ago.
Yeah, and I came bearing a gift of a printer when yeah, you're like, I just bought this awesome inkjet from Costco, bro. Dude. And I was like, dude, take it back, please.
Okay, so you gave me this, like, I have it here. It's sitting right here. It's an HP LaserJet 1020, bulletproof, dude, bulletproof.
It's ancient. They don't even make that model anymore.
It is the best. So if you ever get a chance to get a toner-based, I have a black and white toner thing. Prints out all
those are called compact printers, compact lasers, where they're like small like that.
Right, right. It's really small. I mean, it's super small. Inkjets do suck, Don C. So yeah, if you got to get in toner printers, so important. What do they do on average on every toner cartridge? 3,000 pages, more?
Dude, I don't even know. It's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of pages. Like, it's so much, you just lose track. It's like years. You just like use it for years. Yeah.
Michael Cook says, Chris, when you list as untested, do you list for parts or repair? Do I just list used? One of the things that I do on, since you're allotted 12 pictures on eBay and you're allotted 24 pictures on Craigslist, is you want to take a picture, like once you power the thing on, if it has an issue, a lot of times it'll blink something, or it'll blink like low on ink, right? CP, like some of these things, they have blinking things.
Yeah, a lot of them have screens. They have either LEDs or they have actual screens where they'll display error codes or some sort of error code with the blinking lights that have to do with clogged nozzles or low ink or even low toner if it's a toner printer.
Yeah, so I take a picture of like the thing turning on. Like I take a picture of like the actual head in motion. Like you can see it in motion on the picture, so you know it's traveling up and down the rails. I have a picture of that. I have a picture of the serial number. That's very important, because the serial number can get you in big trouble. If you don't take a picture of the serial number, then you can get scammed on eBay pretty good. So if you have a picture of your serial number, then that's already like a huge, huge piece of the puzzle. They do cost, I think on average, when I ship one of these things out, it's somewhere around 30 to 40 bucks, because you have to insure it and get a big box and all that. Don't be scared about it. You know, it kind of looks all folded out in this picture, right? But all this stuff tucks into it, and it's a nice little neat rectangle. But it is a bigger printer than normal. So when you see a large format printer, don't be scared. Pick it up. Try to get it for dirt cheap. I try to get $10 or below. Of course, I pulled 30 bucks on that garage sale because I'd sold one in 2015. I'd sold probably two in 2015. And I want to give credit to, I think it was College Picker, who had at least let me know about printers. And so I experimented outside of like the ones he was talking about, and I got into large formats slightly, and then I kind of messed with it. Or maybe he said it when we were on a ride along. He said like large formats where you want to be.
I said large formats where you want to be. If you're going for those.
I remember that term, and hopefully I can share that with you guys out there. That's what this show is all about. It's for you guys to learn and for us to reminisce about some really crazy picks. No return on this one. Positive feedback, all that, 9 yards. So it was good. College Picker. Hit us with something good. How'd you guys like that tip, by the way? It was a pretty good one. What do you guys think out there on YouTube? College Picker, you're up. What you got,
man? So I've seen this question a lot of times publicly, privately in the green room, and that's for articles of clothing that are like embroidered or stamped with like something else on it. Can you see here? It's the Marine Center.
Yeah, you can see it.
Oh, Okay, so normally if you saw something like that, like you wouldn't want to buy it, right? Like it's kind of weird and like branded. However, this jacket was a nice nylon Patagonia jacket. Can you see?
How's it looking? Now? Yeah.
Let me get. I'm on the wrong thing. Okay.
No, you're on it. I see it.
So that you can tell it's a Patagonia jacket. And that's pretty much why I bought it. And it was made in the USA. So it was like an older Patagonia jacket as well.
Where are they made now, College Picker?
They're made in like Sri Lanka. They're made in like Cambodia or Vietnam. Like they're more in the Southeast Asian region. But this was just, it was plain. It was like blue with the gray inside. But since it was Patagonia, and Patagonia normally attracts pretty like outdoorsy, environmentally friendly, like hippie kind of people, saying the marine mammal staff on it or the marine mammal center staff isn't really going. Yeah, I had to think about all this. Like, it's not really going to hurt it. Usually, these companies they get the employees really nice uniforms, and those really nice uniforms still will retain value if it's like a Patagonia or like Arc'teryx or something like that, even if it's embroidered. So if it's like a lower end brand, maybe like North Face or I might still buy North Face depending on what the embroidery was. But like Columbia, probably not. A Columbia fishing shirt that was embroidered with somebody else's company on it, probably not. But because this is like a thick, heavy Patagonia jacket, absolutely. And it was a buy for, I think, probably 10 or 15 bucks. And I sold it for 85. And that's just one of the things that I always try to pick up, the Patagonia jacket.
Okay. So let me ask you this, College Picker. When someone has a Patagonia jacket, it can be one of what seems to be three things out there, right? It could be a fleece, it could be a windbreaker, or it could be a raincoat. Now, how do you test between all of those things, CP?
This nylon on the outside, it's normally going to repel water a little bit more. The windbreaker isn't really going to have it's not really going to have that chinchilla lining on it. It's not going to have that liner. And you do the blow test. I know you like the blowing on it test to see if you can push air through it to see if it's like completely waterproof and windproof. Yeah.
Well, windproof and waterproof are two totally different things. I think like a lot of times when you mess with a waterproof thing, if you want to figure out if it's a fleece, I think it's pretty obvious when it's a fleece, and it's always going to have actually I take it back. It can be four things. It could be a windbreaker, it could be a down jacket, which is usually a windbreaker. But it's for warmth. It can be a raincoat, and then it can be fleece. Okay, anyway, so fleece is obviously everyone knows what a fleece looks like. A down jacket is usually like how do I say, quilted, right? Eric, is that the right term, quilted?
Quilted I think it's called.
It's quilting, man, like barbour, like quilting.
Oh no, I think it's not quilting. They have a name
Yes,
for it.
Yes, it is, dude. It's called quilting. I
like
swear.
Not billows. They're not billows. Baffled. They're baffled.
Baffled. Okay, what do you guys think out there? Baffled or quilted when it comes to actual
like when you use a bunch of random things, give it to your grandma, and she like makes you a blanket.
Yeah. Anyway,
I think they're called baffled. And color does matter. This one's it pops a little bit more. It's like an interesting two-tone. This one was made in Costa Rica, but I could tell that it was not modern Patagonia by there's some small variations of texts on the logos. And in Costa Rica, it was still an older one. And believe it or not, this one I had sold it for $115 overseas. Like you're up for $115 plus like $30 shipping. So I think I got like $135 or $145 for it.
Okay, cool. Let me ask the feed out there, because this could be my internet looking at CP and all that kind of stuff. But is CP cutting out? Yes or no? Let me know. I just want to make 100% sure, because your audio cuts out a little bit. But let me turn my Wi-Fi on my phone off just in case this thing's smoking up any of the bandwidth. But so yeah, looks like people are saying it's by the way, it looks like Baffled. You win. Baffled is the one. But that's a really good one. Yeah, Baywatch and David Hasselhoff type jacket. The one that you just pulled up, that red one with was it a fleece interior on that one?
Yeah, that one has fleece interior. It's the exact same style. Yeah, where it's like the chinchilla fleecy.
Okay, he said he's choppy a little bit. So you are tiny cutting out. Yeah, very choppy. So I don't know if you can get closer to a window or whatever, but they're all like letting me know that, yeah. Anyway, so if you can, that's cool. If not, then we'll see what we can get done. Okay, so looks like we're on the next one real quick. So how'd you guys like that flip right there? Looks like everyone's helping us out too on the, I'm so prepared right now. Like I just turned off my phone. I have some really good ones I'm going to talk to you guys about, and CP knows a lot of like, I wouldn't say I got lucky on these kind of things, but this one is going to blow your mind, guys. All right. CP, should we tell them about the red line?
It depends how choppy I'm going to get.
All right. Oh, let me answer this question real quick. Like, where are we staying in ASD? By the way, there's a question coming out from In the Sun or whatever, In the Beach by the Sun. Whatever. So we'll be in ASD soon. We're staying at the Wyndham. We know that much. So I booked it the other day. So we're all in the Wyndham. All the green room members are going to be in the Wyndham, as far as I know. So okay, so here's the next one right here, and everyone in the green room knows this one. There's a kind of a funny story. It's sold 2 times over, and I had 2 non-payers. Okay, so it's this right here. So this was. There we go. It is an actual bat. Here's the end of the bat. It's called a red line. Okay, little C-core bat made out of scandium. All right, so if you take a look at the edge of that picture, it says SC 500. See that? All right, so this is a scandium bat, which is a little bit more rare of a bat to find. Right, CP, yes or no?
Yeah, you're not going to find very many of them anymore. They're not made anymore.
Okay, so I bought this thing. I'm gonna say I think I bought it for $1, maybe $2, at most $2. I know it wasn't anything like. I sold it the first time for $425, and then they didn't pay, and then I got it sold again for like $400. They didn't pay, and I was like, oh my god. So, so then I sold it again for $400, and then they did pay. So that one was pretty awesome. That was from a church garage sale, a scandium bat right there. As you can see, it's the Easton. This was called an Easton Redline SC500. You can look it up anywhere. You know, really awesome bat. It was in impeccable condition. I put it in one of those like priority mail tube kind of things, padded it up real good. That's funny because that was one of 2 bats I bought that day. The other bat sold for like, I think 119 or something. It was.
Did you insure the crap out of that?
Yeah, I did. I mean, I insured the crap out of both of them. The other bat was like just as great of a hustle. I mean, not as great, but like it was $120 or something like that. It was a Louisville Slugger something. It was white and it was like super light. So anyway, you know, I'm not going to tell you go buy every bat out there, okay? But there's some people in the green room. What, Hector? Remember Hector A? I think he's in Houston, but this guy is like crushing bats like left and right. He's like always got bat posts. And someone else the other day was like, hey, I've been watching his post, getting all like, you know, pumped up. Now we got someone else that's like flipping bats. Eric, you flip bats. When you are in the States, you flip bats before. You flip tennis rackets, right?
Yeah, I look for them. I don't like. I don't have a Craigslist alert for them. I probably should, because that's probably where you're going to see them, is like at Craigslist. Believe it or not, a lot of the big baseball states, like Florida, Arizona is a really big baseball state. Texas is a pretty big baseball state. Like these southern states where baseball is really popular, you can go to some Play It Again Sports and they'll still have these old school bats there.
Wow, this makes me want to
like,
go.
Yeah,
it's funny that you said that, because honestly, like I remember the premise of why I bought these 2 bats in the first place. Because I did a blind buy. Do you know what a blind buy is, CP? You do them all the time. Like, I know you know what it is. Do you know what a blind buy is?
Like you just don't have your phone. You just don't have anything. You just
buy it because it's like very insignificant. Cool. It's very like $1 to me. Like it doesn't really matter, right? Because I know that like the cheapest bat at Play It Again Sports will probably sell for like $9, right? So I do a blind buy because in the worst case scenario, I'm just going to take both of them to Play It Again Sports, which is a consignment store here in town. I can just literally drop them off. And then I've shown it on videos where I'm like picking up a check from Play It Again. Actually, no, the check wasn't picked up that day, but I could have, but I just let them have it. Like I only pick up the check when it starts getting substantial, right? When if it's like whatever. I had a video where I went up there with frisbees, I want to say, or something. There was something I'd go up to Play It Again with, and they gave me like, oh yeah, here's some money if you want it, but I decided not to, or something like that. But I was going to take these 2 bets to Play It Again, and you know, just 9 times my money, but I looked them up right before I went. God,
9 times your money. What? Sell them for $9?
Yeah, dude, 9 times my money. But I, you know, 400 times my money right there.
The funny thing is Play It Again would look at them and be like, yeah, these aren't legal. These aren't legal to use anymore. So these are not valuable. But little do they know that is what makes them valuable, is that they're not made anymore and that they're illegal to use in the standard little leagues.
Okay. So now explain something right here. So if someone gets into BATS CP, let's get some education down. I don't want to say let's dumb it down because that's like the wrong way to say it, but like let's get
We're
it
not going to dumb
simplified.
it down, but we're going to hit some main points.
Yeah, what is that?
I have you've seen the write-up that I did in the green room. Like I bump it every 6 months to like a year.
Yes.
Anytime I see somebody that asks a question about bats or like, oh, where's the bat post? Like I bump it so they can see it. I will create an email. I will shoot it out to our email list and they can get that excerpt. You think that's a good idea? I think that's a pretty good.
Say that again. I'm sorry. Say that again.
If you're on the email list, I will send
Yes.
them that article, like the thing that I wrote. I think that's a pretty good.
It's a perfect segue to this thing real quick. So we're talking about some really good flips and how you can make some money. There was a question in the feed from Mr. Smiles, like, how the hell do you know about these things bona fide? Like, is it a sixth sense or something? No, it's not. It's because my mind is armed with a lot of things, right? And it was good before pre-green room, but it got incrementally better with the green room. Like everyone's sharing things. It's just incrementally better. Like I was a good hustler before. Anyone knows it. Like College Picker came in town and hustled with me, Rake and all of them. Like everyone's hustled with me. Like I'm a good hustler. I know I am, but I'm not the best. Okay. I can still learn. I can always learn, and I'm always learning. So it's a perfect segue into this because we do want to get you on that email list. We want to get you something for free. So here's 100 amazing items to resell. You can get it. And there's 100 really good things in there that you can get and you can start looking for in this garage sale season that we're about to be upon, which is going to be fantastic.
I believe the bats are in there. I did write the section on bats in there.
But the write-up is not, it doesn't do justice.
The post is so much in depth and explains a lot more like basic rules, such as like, if you know what a T-ball bat looks like, a youth bat, then you're just going to want to stay away from those for the most part. Maybe some of the more modern ones, the BB core stuff, you can look up any of the bats, you can look up the model number. Like that's your fail safe right there, is like just Google the model number, see what it's selling for on eBay. Or if you can look on Craigslist or something to move it locally if you wanted to. That should be like rule number one, just like anything. But once you learn what a youth bat is, you kind of gravitate away from those and more towards these like 20, 28, 29 to like 32-inch bats, which are like the adult bats.
Okay, so let me cut you for 1 second because people are starting to talk about this guide. This guide is down below, the very first link that you see right there. Check it out. It's 100 amazing items. It's actually on a Rake It Profit link right now because we're working on the link on the other one, but check it out. 100 items to resell, 100 amazing items to resell. There is a Mischievous Mouse says, I've read your 100 resale items a number of times book, and I've found a bunch of things on there. And then she said that your bad thing is on there. But
it is on there, but it's not in depth. I will send an email with the in-depth explanation. I'll create an email and send it out the email list.
Can we bump that thing up the feed though, so that people can get it after this show?
Oh, I'll bump it up the feed right now.
No, can we get the email out to the people on the? I mean, can we get your post to the people on the email list like tomorrow, for example? We can, right?
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it as soon as I'm off the.
All right.
I'm off.
So get on the email list. Like he's gonna put his bad post that's in the green room on the email list. You go check it out. It's highly detailed and it'll explain a lot of things to you. And I do want to say there's even another College Picker video way in the archives where you show the ping test. But anyway, right?
Yeah,
there's something in there. I know. I watched all your videos. So like,
these are pressurized, right? So the way that it works, it's like a hollow piece of metal, and then they pressurize it, and then they cap it,
right,
with like a plastic cap. So they cap it. Well, if there's ever a leak in a pressure system, obviously you're going to lose that power. So if there's a little crack, or the cap has been cracked, or the cap has gone loose, like the bat will be rendered useless. And to do that ping test, I would say probably 95 out of 100 bats are gonna be pressurized. But if you like sold somebody a bat that wasn't pressurized, they would be so mad.
Oh yeah, they would be super pissed. Okay, so yeah, your audio and video is getting kind of cut out. CP, do me a favor because I'm about to go to my next one. Try to come back in and reset that. I'm going to put the actual 100 amazing items to resell guide right now. I'm going to put it in the feed 3 times. Okay, so there's the link to the guide right there. You cannot miss it. I just put it in the feed. College Picker is going to try to come back in. I'll get to my next amazing flip. Oh man, dude, this one's so good. Okay, you know, I thought this flip was really good, and then someone in the green room trumped my flip like literally last week. So this was on a ride along not a terribly long time ago, but E-Money and I went to a nerd garage. Okay, we went to a garage sale that had a bunch of like what we call nerd games, nerdy type stuff. It's just like Dungeons and Dragons stuff, Warcraft stuff, figurines, role-playing RPG stuff, and Warhammer and whatever. So there's a bunch of that. I did see that in the title of the Craigslist or the yard sale treasure map listing. So going back to Mischievous Mouse, like, do I have a sixth sense or whatever like that? No, but I do know how to decode like yard sale treasure map. I know how to work the crap out of Craigslist. Like, I just know that. So when I see certain things, I can almost identify the type of individual that I'm about to meet at these garage sales when I roll up, because certain things go hand in hand. Like, if you ever see Nerf guns in a garage sale post, you can probably guess the kids are also playing video games, right? So you might be able to find video games, maybe ask proactively, hey, do you got any video games inside? Brock Parks, I want to give a shout out to him because that's a really big thing that he does all the time. Orange Elephant 523, by the way, that's his channel on YouTube. But so I go to this nerd garage sale, right? The guy's not nerdy or anything. It's a super cool guy. I just call it nerd garage sale. E-Money and I, we spend, God, I just told this story like the other day. I spent 40 on 3 huge totes, okay, big totes. They're like this. It would turned out to be about 40 something books. 3 totes of books. I spent $40 on that, and we also spent $40 on some like in plastic, not Warhammer, Warcraft figurines. All right, so the Warcraft figurines sell perfectly fine. Boom, boom, boom. We made all our money back just with the Warcraft figurines. Those 40 plus books, or however many I had, it could have been 50 something. These were all Dungeons and Dragons books. They were all out of the 3.5 series. And there were a lot of good ones and some duplicates too. I was able to actually sell that for $500. 500. Now, someone in the green room saw my post, right, and was like, "Holy crap!" Like, comes across something like that, does appropriate research, and I think I want to say listed theirs and got $719 or $799 or something like that. So if someone helped me out in the feed that saw that post with the Dungeons and Dragons books. It was
crazy.
Holy moly! Like, I don't know how much I can't remember how much they spent on it, but I mean, it's pretty insignificant, you know, compared to like what you sold it for. So these are what the books kind of look like. They look like this in the cover. Some of them do. The other ones, you know, I had like literally like, I mean, a ton of these things. So this is what they kind of look like.
That just looks like a pile of sticks.
I know. Hold on, dude. It's not a pile of sticks, bro. Stop it.
It looks like you.
That is not a pile of sticks, dude. You're ruining my show.
Look at it.
That looks like a pile of books. That looks like a pile of cheddar, actually. Yeah, so Jennifer Leland says, yeah, that was nuts. It was something around $800 range. So yeah, so Jennifer Leland's in the room. She's a member, so she saw it. So yeah, we, you know, is it a Sixth Sense type stuff, dude? Like, Dungeons and Dragons has had a following since like what, the early '80s or something like that. So you've got to be able to look at, you know, a stack of books, $40, and the guy did it on a whim. He goes like, you know, he was expecting someone to just rifle through him, like, how much for these 3 books? Like, I'm the kind of guy, like, I got no time to waste, but I know I want something, right? So I go, how much for everything? You know, give me your best cash deal. Like, I always say that, best cash deal. And then if they go like, here's a pro tip. If they go, Eric, pretend you were me, okay? And I go, okay, well, what were you thinking? What are you thinking on these? And you got a pile of these books, and you don't know what they're going to sell for. It's a blind buy, but you're like, what would you do? How would you approach that situation?
I probably would just be like, hey, how about like $1 a book? Just because I want to get to the next sale.
Yeah, that would be around $40, $50. That's not bad.
Yeah. Just get to the next sale.
Yeah, I usually say, when that kind of comes, I really try to make an awkward silence and make sure that, you know, it gets really awkward to where the person goes, well, how about this, right? And they go, how about $60? And I'm like, look, this is where I am, all right? But I'll bump it up. And usually I'll be like, I was going to be at $30, but I'll bump it up to 40 when really I was at $40. So it's a nice way of like, hey, I gave you something, but you really didn't. So that's one of the ones that you can check out. Dungeons and Dragons, lots, books, Warhammer stuff, Warcraft figurines that are out of the box, in the box. I forgot to take this. Oh man, I did sell this amazing Warcraft figurine for like $94 that I bought from Savers for 12 as well. That didn't make it into this list, but anyway, College Picker, you're next, man. Go ahead and talk about your stuff, man. What do you got?
This is one that, like, you know exactly what it is, I think. Let me get this guy's address out of here.
Oh yeah, I know what
Can
that
you see
is.
that?
Yeah, everyone should know what that is.
Everyone should know what that is.
Okay,
right?
hold on. Don't say what it is. Let's just take a guess, guys. Do you, in the feed that just saw that picture for a split second, do you know what that is? I'm just curious.
I mean, there was a title, but hopefully my picture was like really distorted.
Fast. When you see that thing, you should be picking it up so fast, so fast. I wonder if anyone knows what that is. That's to me, that's very easy. Like, people should know that one. Julie Johnson out of Washington. What's up? Been to 2 green room meetups now, right? Yeah, 2. Yeah. What's up? Good to see you. Yes.
Yeah, it's
Dongle,
it's a
dongle,
dongle, but it's
okay.
very specific dongle. Like you can't get this one wrong. It only fits one Guitar Hero controller. It's very desirable. It sells. This one sold for $38 on eBay. Like I posted it sold the same day, $38, and it's super cheap. Yeah, showing off my dongle. That's pretty funny.
Usually these are like when you come up to a garage sale and you see a dongle, what, $1 or less, right? Usually it's like nothing.
A yard sale, if you see it at freaking Goodwill, it's usually like $1, maybe $2.99, if that. But yeah, it's super. They're very durable. They're small. They go. You know what it goes to. Like it's very easy to list. It's very easy to ship. Like this is like. It doesn't get any better for.
Show the picture again for Jillian Guillory adding the feed. She's like, I missed it. So show it to. Let's give it to Julian.
So
Jillian right here.
This is the Guitar Hero PlayStation 3 dongle. Yeah, it can go $55 on Amazon. This I did on eBay just to get rid of it quickly. And I have had some returns on dongles on Amazon, so I kind of stopped doing that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's for the Les Paul S3.
Okay.
USB. It looks like a little guitar pick. That's how you can kind of identify it. And you will find these. And you better buy them.
So it's for the Les Paul one, but be specific. It's not for the Xbox 360.
No, it's for the PS3. PS3
right.
Les
Paul.
Paul.
If you go to thrift stores, you're gonna find a lot of the Xbox 360 Red Octane Les Pauls, and those are good to go as is. They are wireless already. You just hook it up with a receiver thing. There's no receiver on that one. You just kind of bind it to your. Am I right about that? I am right about that. You just.
Yeah, when they built the Xbox, it was really cool.
Built into it.
So. Yeah.
All right, let's go to my next flip. I got so many good ones. You know, I don't know if I want to tell you more flips. It's like 8:40 at night, dude. Only if people say yeah and like the video, I will keep showing you some of these amazing flips because these are awesome. I know this next one I did not post in the room. I'm pretty sure I did not. I just don't know, man. You got to like the video and say more flips. That's all I want to see. Like the video and hit more flips. I got some good ones. I have something that deals with Chicago Bulls. I have something that deals with a window.
More flips.
I got something that deals with something on top of your car. I have. I got something that deals with footwear.
Shoes.
Yeah. Okay. College Picker, will you do me a favor? Will you do the next one? Because I want to make sure that I get the right price on this next one. I'm going to look at my email history and just keyword search this one. Go for the next one, man, real quick.
I'll go for this. These addresses keep popping up on eBay. Go here. So if you can see, I'm going to bump my brightness up a little bit. These are Harry Potter Legos. These are like some of the coveted Lego sets. And these got at a garage sale, I believe for like 30 or $40. And we'll do a couple pictures. They had minifigs in it. There were some sealed bags in it. There was some flags in it. There were instructions. There were open boxes. So rather than putting all the sets together, selling it as 100% complete, I sold it as a lot, as is, and just took a ton of pictures so the Lego people can see, okay, this is the box. This is the directions for that. These are the main pieces. Like I never claimed that any of them were 100% complete, but I just chose enough, and it sold for $250 plus $6 shipping.
Oh, you just like kind of roboted on me on that one. How much you sell it for?
$250 plus $15 shipping. $250.
Show me the picture real quick because I was looking at this thing and I figured out what I sold it for. So go ahead.
See the overhead? I mean, this is just the.
What's up?
I have it. There's a ton of pictures. None of them are sealed. None of them are complete.
Oh, dude, that's Harry Potter stuff. Yeah, then yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Jeez.
I just went up, but it was like some partially. I just took pictures. Some partially put together. Like I didn't put together all of it, and there were many figures.
Cool.
Just took a ton. I did all 12 pictures with just description of it and listed all the different sets that I thought that they went to. And somebody probably will complete the sets and make money off of it or use it for their own collection. But either way, I'm perfectly fine with it. It was as is.
That's amazing.
No liability on my part.
Did you find a Back to the Future DeLorean? Was that you or someone else?
Yeah, that was my DeLorean. And I did put that one together because I wanted to build it.
And
that was
it,
complete.
or did you?
Yeah, I sold it. I sold it for $100 used.
God, that was in 2016. Why didn't you bring that one up?
I don't think so. It was on Amazon.
Yes, it was. Are you sure?
I don't think so. That was Amazon like two years ago, maybe.
I remember seeing it in the green room. Okay. We have 185 viewers. We have 75 likes and 1 dislike. Someone here does not like flips.
They do not like baseball bats.
They do not like them. If I do my rocket science correctly, there's 109 people that have not picked dislike the video or like the video. So please pick the latter, which is like the video. Okay, so let me show you this next one real quick. Just check my sold on this one. 220 was what it sold for. Let me see the time. The date was 2/24/16. Okay, so February 24th, 2016. That's when I created the shipping label for this guy right here, which I bought for $75 at an REI garage sale. Which sometimes REI garage sales are great and sometimes they suck. But Brock was with me on this one. Orange Elephant 523 was at this garage sale with me. I spent $75 on this one and I sold it for $220. It's a Scarpa mountaineering boot. Now here's the thing. It's not the greatest flip of all time, but it's such a good flip because this boot normal price is like $379.99. It was used a couple times and then returned to REI where I came and picked it up for $75. Brock was there. He saw the whole thing and he was like, holy crap, you're putting down a lot for a boot. I'm like, I know what I'm looking at. So yeah, this sold couple days later, or even the next day. I was gonna like tell him all about it, and tell the green room all about it, but I didn't do it. But anyway, so this is what it looks like right here. This is what a Scarpa Mont Blanc. I think it's a Mont Blanc. Is this a Mont Blanc? It's a mountaineering boot. This should be the Mont Blanc series, but anyway, it's a Mont Blanc. It's not the GTX Pro because the GTX Pro has more wires and stuff that crisscross it, but this is a Mont Blanc mountaineering boot. Now, a mountaineering boot is completely different than a hiking boot, okay? And a hiking boot is going to be a lot less durable than a mountaineering boot. A hiking boot's usually all leather and not much reinforcing. A mountaineering boot's got heavy reinforcement, as you can see, the black layer that goes around the entire shoe, and it also has insane amounts of what they use. I don't know if it's glue or stitching or whatever, because you affix a lot of things onto these boots, like crampons, like snowshoes, like anything. Like you affix a lot of things to them. They have little lips on the front. You can barely see it, but there's a
the sole looks thicker too.
Oh, it's insane, dude. I'll show you the sole right here. So the sole is insane. It's like bulletproof. I mean, I'm talking like insane, but it's not like a steel toe or anything like that. Don't be thinking Wolverine or Rocky boots. This is mountaineering stuff that belongs on Rainier, Everest, K2, like that kind of stuff. So when you're looking at mountaineering boots, you will not be able to bend this thing in half or bend the sole like this. It doesn't happen on these boots. These are very rigid and these are meant to withstand crazy temperatures. They are insulated, they are Gore-Tex, and they are extremely tough. Okay, so that one was that. Like I said, not the best flip, but it's something I wanted to teach you guys about because I have huge passion in this kind of stuff, and it's really cool. And anytime this is probably the 4th time I've hustled a Mont Blanc, right? So it's a pretty good shoe to find out there. Okay, so we have 90 upvotes now. That's good. Oh, we got 5 downvotes. Sweet, even better. 5 people don't like flips out there.
Yeah, you 5x.
Holy crap! No, they don't like. I know what it is, dude. They don't like the Mont Blanc boots. That's what it is, man.
This one's on the 100 Amazing Resale. I think Chaco's.
Yes,
I believe this is men's 11, the Z1. They're not even in that amazing shape. There's a little bit of foam there. I did not get out the toothbrush to scrub it or anything. I just sold them as is. 45 free shipping. Picked them up.
There was a day and time where you could sell those for like almost $60-$70. Did you know that? And if you had the toe loop and they were Z2s, then you could sell them for almost. I sold a pair for like 84, 89 a couple times and barely used. But are those?
These are the actual old school like made in Colorado ones too.
Yeah, those are Z1s. I know what those are. Those are Z1s. The Z2s, like if you flip the bottom of it, like it looks like a freaking hiking shoe, like it is armored. But it has a top of a sandal, and it usually has a toe loop too.
Yeah, I think that was a pair of Chacos I flipped. This was another pair of Chacos. Sold them for 32. Got them. This is a sandal. It's a thong sandal. It's not as desirable. They actually discontinued this model. It's not an amazing one, but they sell. They will.
No, you're right.
And they will sometimes fit in a flat rate bubble mailer for $5 or $6. So.
Now, when you're dealing with Chaco sandals, like if you're like, holy crap, like where do I find because Chacos, they don't put any tags anywhere because it's already a sandal, right? It's a strap sandal. So like it's already kind of uncomfortable the way it is. You have to break it in and everything. So none of these like straps, or there's no like tags for the size or anything. So where do you find the size of a Chaco sandal? You look at the very, very, very back. Okay.
The back of the heel.
The back of the heel. If you see M10 and it's surrounded by dots, okay, the dots mean it's a medium. Okay. If you see dashes like M10, I mean, men's 10, and it says a dash, now you're dealing with a wide. All right, just so you guys, that's a pro tip out there.
Yeah, you can see the M11 with the dots. That's a normal width, and then if those dots were dashes, it would be wide width.
Yup. So there you go, some little Chaco stuff for you. I have 2 pairs,
and it's usually a dead giveaway just by the look of the sandal, and then it says Chaco like right on the corner. They're branded sometimes with it just says Chaco. And they're really heavy, like heavy duty. You pick them up and you're like, wow, these are heavy duty sandals.
Okay, so Mises says it's getting a little laggy and choppy for me.
Excellent.
So hopefully it's not too choppy to where people like bail, but I think he might bail. Mises, thank you for being on the show though, and like being here. I really appreciate it. Let's go to a flip that I found at a Goodwill. Are you guys ready? Because this one's awesome. This one was such a good, this was a testament to really green room networking and everything like that. I'm going to tell you right now, because I think I would have figured it out before. And I should look, I found a Chicago Bulls script hat with tags at Goodwill. The day it came out, it was sitting on top of a rack, not even smushed, nothing. Even had the old receipt in it, I think, or the old price tag. So like I said, this is a Google image of it. And I really give credit to not only College Picker, but Glenn Zubia, Max in the green room, and then there was one other person that was, I think, on that panel for the hat show. It might have even been Young, honestly. So like, shout out to all you guys for like knowing a whole lot about hats. And so it just got me all confident, when I started finding hats. And I've sold a bunch. In fact, one of them went to Max in the green room, and I gave him a crazy deal on one. I got him a deal on a shark tooth Dallas Cowboys. Do you know what that is, CP?
Yes.
Yeah, I gave him a mint one for like $10, and he was so happy. He came with like, I think I told him 30 at first, and I told him to meet me at Taco Deli. He whips out $30, and I gave him back $20, and he's like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah, bro." I was like, "Dude, you helped me out so much, and you're part of my room." So I literally like, what seems to like gave him the hat. I got it out of a lot of hats. So this is what the
he's a Texan, like. So that's like super
he
cool.
loved it. Like he was like sporting like Dallas Cowboys stuff before, and he had the splash one before or something like that. And I had a shark tooth one that I gave him, and he was just like, that was it. So Chicago Bulls hat right there. That's what it looked like. This is the Google image of it. Imagine finding this with those tags, and this is what I found at a Goodwill right there, $4. Now I had an asking price at that time of $120. Someone offered me that night $40, $60, $70, and then one came in at $80, and I took it. So not even a day, $80. I sold that hat for that. So really, really good. I thought that was a really good one. But like I said, I don't ever want to take all the credit, because that was coincidentally like, weeks after we had green room hat shows and stuff like that, to where I was like, all right, I think I
just started noticing it.
Well, I knew the terminology of everything. I knew how to list it. I knew the keywords. I knew everything I needed to know. I knew it was a script. I knew it was sports specialties. It had checked everything like that we had talked about on that show. All the
it was probably a wool hat too.
It was not wool. Definitely not wool.
This one was so rare. It didn't have definitely cotton. Wool in it, or like a wool blend.
I'm positive. This one was just a normal cotton hat. It was awesome. And it was super rare. Like finding comps on this was like so hard to find. That's the reason why I put it at 120 when the whole market was selling at like 50 and 60. Because when you find stuff like that and you realize you might have a one-off or a very rare thing, then you have to shoot for the stars first, put a best offer. And I just wait, and the offers just came in all day long. And then I finally got the $80 one. I was like, all right, you know what? Let me take the $80 one. So that was a pretty good flip. First class rate. Loved it. Murray Zuckerman says, how about hat show number 2? That's a great suggestion. Maybe we will do that. I would love to do that, that hat show. We talked about script, splash, shark tooth, big logo. See, I remember all this crap because that show really, really, really got me excited. Give me another one, CP. I said splash.
Did you say splash?
Yeah, I said big logo, splash, shark tooth. People in the feed, help me out. We went over the brands. I said script. So anyway, we went over the brand sports specialties.
There's one called Diamond.
Yeah, diamond. There's one. That's the one I missed. So anyway, we'll try to do a hatch show. 186 viewers, guys. Hit the like button, please. We greatly appreciate it. We're just basically throwing out massive bolos.
I found out why I'm all robotic is because my internet speed's like 8 megabytes per second. Dude. I just text Rachel to like get us an upgrade.
Oh my god. Okay, so we have to get through at least 2 more mine because the last one's going to be like, what? You're going to be like, okay, what? And you play a role in the last one, CP, so you'll see why. CP, go for it.
Hold on 1 second. Keep going.
Okay, I can keep going. All right, so let me just tell you something real quick. This is a bolo. Like, this really works only if you have, I would say, a flea market and a booth. Okay, so you see this in my videos, and I cannot stress enough how important buying these things are. If you have a booth or a flea market, buy these freaking things. Buy old window panes. If it has lead paint, who cares? You wouldn't even know. But crackling, crazy, crappy, broken, freaking, yeah, don't lick them and don't put your nose up.
If it has lead paint, yeah, if it has lead paint, don't lick it and don't sand it.
Oh, I'm telling you guys, like, look, check this out. What's up, Basic Hustler? Basic Hustler. What's up, Bonafide? First time live with you. You rock. Thank you, man. Hey, props to College Picker here. I can't do it without this guy too. Just remember, watch his videos. And there are tons of other pickers out here, by the way. Who is this? Basic Hustler. Like, there's so many other pickers in the YouTube space. I don't want to act like I'm the best or anything like that. I do try to give good content, but there are so many good ones out there. If I even started right now, like, it would take literally like the next 15 minutes for me to remember everyone that I want to talk about. So, there are a lot of good hustlers out here. Make sure you subscribe to every single one of them. One of the best ways, where's Basic Hustler here, is to go to a couple one, like go to me, of course, go to Raken, and look at our sidebars, right? And then click everyone in the sidebar, subscribe to that, go to every one of those person's sidebars, and then click and subscribe to all those people. And eventually you'll network through what seems to maybe be the 100 active YouTubers that are reselling that actually put out videos on a weekly basis. And that's what you want to look at on your feed to get really good information. So yeah, windows. In my booth, windows are great. I always pop on them. Like, I hate saying general statements like, I always pop on this or I always pop on that. Look, I pop on it because I have a marketplace to sell it at. I have an avenue to sell it at, okay? If you don't have the avenue to sell this thing on, then you might have a Facebook group that you can do it with, maybe, or something like that, but you're going to have to be careful. So a flea market would definitely sell this, and an antique booth, hands down, you can sell these things because I can't keep these things in stock. Like, nobody in my antique booth, unless you're like super high price, can keep these things in stock. So big ones, small ones, little ones, smashed ones, whatever. I even have some in the house that I kept for myself. But window panes. And then let's get another picture here. Here's one that's just like on a board. These things are awesome. I'm telling you, there's no way that Austin is the only town that appreciates this crap. All right. I'm telling you, just start looking out for this stuff, get in real low, and, open, maybe use Craigslist as one of your avenues if you don't have a booth or something, but get into it. Don't be afraid to lose $5-10. Don't ever be afraid of that kind of stuff. Especially when it comes from things that we're trying to tell you, like these things absolutely have good markets. They sell and they sell well. You're going to have to commit sometimes and put money to the fire, put your hand in the fire. And
Drummer asked a question. Those are all wooden frames, question mark? I would say yeah, because
these vintage, are all wooden frames. All of these are wooden frames, and all of them likely have lead paint on them, which is how and I have 2 in my house.
That's so awful. Yeah, they're like hung up in houses where like little lead flakes are like falling off of them and getting breathed in.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, when you get them, a really light cleaning is all you need. You don't want to take off the patina, the tarnishing. You don't want to take out. You want that thing to look old and have crackly paint. A lot of times when I find them, they have broken glass. If it has a crack in the glass, it's okay. Just put it like that. Maybe clean the glass a little bit, but don't ever clean take the cobwebs out. That's pretty much it. Nothing else will stick to those things. Don't try to clean it, okay? Because that's what people want. They want a project, or they want to keep it like that. They want to put photos in them and hang it on a wall. It's really cool looking.
I was queuing my next item. I didn't know if you covered this, but somebody asked, how much are you selling them for?
Okay, in my booth, it depends on the size, right? One that's about the size of a dry erase board. So a standard size dry erase board, not a huge one.
That's so funny because there's so many sizes of dry erase boards.
You see this thing right here. It's probably a 3624, right? This poster, more than likely, right? Yard by 2 feet. When you find windows, they're not going to be usually that size. They're going to be more squarish, okay? So I would be willing to say that a 36 by 36, which is like a yard by yard, is a really good window to find, right? And then a smaller window would be like a 2 foot by 2 foot. Like that would be like a smaller one to me. Still great value, resale value, because you got to understand not everyone's house has a wall that big for like a yard by yard one, right? So, but the yard by yard ones or 36 by 36 ones, those have better resale values. In fact, I've got up to selling those in my booth for like 119 bucks a piece when I'm into them for like $3 or $5 a piece. Because when we find them at a garage sale, we usually find them in the wee hours of the morning. They're leaning up against a tree, and the person's like, "Yeah, just take them. Like, take them all for." One of them we had take them all for 15, and there was 4 of them. And then I showed them on one of my recent ride-alongs. We're popping on them. I think I bought 2 or 3 that day for $5 a piece. I don't know, $3 a piece, something like that. So I can't remember these nitty-gritty prices. I do know what they sell for, and an average of those recent ones that I found, which were smaller ones, the average on those is 58, with some selling at like 74. So that's what the antique booth is cutting me after their fees and their commissions and all that. $58. That's pretty good when all I did was put a tag on it and I dropped it off. So just look out for that. Okay, CP, what you got?
All right, this is in the guide.
Okay, before you say that, let me put the link here. I'll put the link to the guide right there. If you guys want the guide, it's in the feed right now. I'll put it in 3 times.
I sold this recently, actually, I think this year, for $55 plus like $15 shipping, and it's broken. It doesn't even work. It's 4 parts as is. It's a Roomba pet series.
I know that one. I have that one.
Well, they all look the same. Probably
no,
not.
Like I have, like usually you can tell on the very top. That one has.
Is it a 5? Is it a 500?
Pickup handle. That one has the pickup handle. It has all the buttons that mine do. It can do routes. Yes, I know that one.
So yeah, this was like $8 at a Goodwill, sold for 55 plus $15 shipping, and it was broken as 4 parts as is, no liability. $15. I did not do free shipping on it because it depends like where it's going to go, how much it's going to be, and it went FedEx home delivery for $15. That's where it went. So
that's pretty cool, man. I like that one a lot. The funny thing is, I popped on the most recent Roomba I bought. Well, besides the brand new one that I bought from Costco. Well, I had to buy it from Costco because there's a reason why I buy certain things from Costco, and it's very obvious if you buy a Roomba, like why you would want to buy it from Costco. So anyway, I'll just leave it at that. It's an awesome machine. It did cost me like $350. Super expensive. Now this is one of those things like it's impossible to find. You wouldn't want to buy it on Prime because it will have an issue eventually. And mine has had 1 issue, and I have returned it to Costco once already. But I did come across this other thing for $10 not too long ago. I want to say it's in 2016. It's a Roomba Scuba. Do you know what that is, CP?
Yes, that's the mopping one.
Yes, and the mopping one kind of sucks. But before we go on a big trip, we always let it run around the house. We did buy an extra battery for it for like $24 off of eBay, and for what seems to be $35 that were invested into it, it's pretty cool. Like it mops around and does all the stuff, and then it doesn't. I can't remember. I don't think this one goes back to its home station. I think it just like kind of stops. But it has like, it's really odd when you look at these scuba ones because they have like reservoirs for water plus solution. Did you know that?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like mixing it and then applying it to your floor and then like doing things. And some of the more, there's another brand out there. It's more squarish. CP, help me out. Everyone knows.
I don't mess with. I know Samsung makes them, and I think they have a square model also. But those ones are really.
No, there's another one. If people in the feed are going to get this in 2 seconds, there's a square, badass looking one. I forgot what it's called. Everyone has them. They're like $500.
LG makes one.
No, there's one. If you say the name, people are in the feed are going to
Brava makes one.
I want to say it's Brava. I think it might be Brava actually. Anyway, one like agitates the carpet and stuff, and like it actually has arms that like do this thing, and then it sucks up the dirt, which is nuts if you think about it.
I feel like iRobot was the original, so I'm gonna have to go with the original.
Dude, the Roomba is so good. I gotta tell you, like I use my Roomba every single day, but I have to clean it at least once every like 10 days or so because it will get a lot of hair and pet hair.
And you have to know how to clean it. The main thing to go wrong with these things are the batteries. They have these rechargeable batteries that can either develop corrosion because it's kind of or getting stuff inside that's messing with the contacts. It gets kind of gross, or the battery just dies after. They recommend you replace it after a year or so. So when people are selling these for broken, you might be able to do a quick 5-10 minute diagnosis with Google. If you can fix it, you're going to sell it for more than $55. If you can't, then that's why you mitigated your risk because they still sell for parts, which I think I talked about that in the guide.
Okay. Someone in the sun by the beach says, I need a Roomba. I'm telling you right now, like a Roomba will change your life. But I think I'm only looking at it on a kind of biased perspective because I have a good one, right? I have a good one. I have pets, and it's like, I haven't swept ever with like a broom in like 2 years, right? So we let the Roomba run every single day. We don't have it on a programmed route. We don't let it go at certain times. I always like to be home when the Roomba goes around because sometimes it can get into troubles. Sometimes it can do weird things. It can, like the other day, it sucked up the string of my shorts.
Starts eating cords. Yeah.
It just like went after this, like
you have to
pulled it out,
certain
and like the thing looked really weird. It looked like a curly fry. Anyway, a bona fide curly fry. Okay, we're down to our last flips, guys. Man, this show is fun and is wearing me out. I gotta tell you, because I got one last flip. And then Eric, how many do you have left? 1 or 2?
Dude, I could go. Oh, I'm going. I got another Roomba one.
Okay. So, I just sold a freaking pair of hiking boots for $80.
Here, I'll just do this one real quick since we're on Roomba. Roomba base, $30. Just the base charger. That's it. Bam. I don't even think I talked about that in the guide, so there's a little bonus.
There you go, bonus. Hopefully you guys all have the guide, by the way. I really do want you guys to have it. We did take a long, it took us, 2 months to make that guide and to really organize it. We whittled it down. We had like 150 things at first, and then we put it down to 100. So, some of the stuff in there, I would honestly say if you're an average level hustler, you're probably going to know probably 70 of those 100 items, I would say. But it's just one of those things. It's a good refresh, and those 30 extra items that you might not know about, or you're probably guaranteed you don't know about them, like that's really a big deal when it comes to garage sales and stuff. So, and we're about to be on an epic season. Garage sales are always super epic following, and this is my hypothesis, so hear me out real quick, but after a really good year, 2016 was like a record year of spending, and Prime had like record Amazon Prime or Amazon in general, record profits. Black Friday was a complete success, and Cyber Monday, complete success, all this stuff. And people are just consuming. And the gas prices were super low, so everyone's taking trips. That means people are buying a lot of stuff, right? And, a lot of people don't just sit there and buy new houses all day long, right? So all this stuff has to come into a house. This is my kind of like my logic here. All this new stuff has to come into a house. What does that mean? They have to push out other stuff. And some of this other stuff is usually really good stuff. There's nothing wrong with it, right? It's just people want latest and greatest, and they want different things, different features. But some of this other stuff, and that's where we come in as hustlers. We come in, kind of sweep it up, neighborhood-wide garage sale season. So the person that wins, and going back to the comment, like, do I have a sixth sense or anything like that, mischievous Mal, like, how do you know about all this stuff? Is because you just got to apply some logic to it, right? And you got to have as much stuff in your brain as possible when it comes to garage sales. And that's how you win. That's how you have, multi-$1,000 Saturdays and just by 3 hours of work. That's how you do it. I'm not in a special town. Like, I'm just in Austin, Texas. It's a good town, but there's nothing special about what I do. I have a car just like everyone else. I wake up early just like everyone else, but I do certain things differently. And so
our prophet says guide is the best.
Yeah. So I do things a little differently. Education's a big part of this. So
yeah.
There's no way you can denounce that. That's just the way it is. I mean, Austin's a good town for garage sales, though, but it's not like the best. I mean, I've been to Florida. I got to tell you, like, Florida, just holy moly. Florida is just nonstop. Like, you could probably garage sale all day there. When I went there, I was like blown away.
They do it like consistently on Fridays sometimes in retirement towns, and Thursdays. I've even seen them like Thursdays. They like start it because these people don't have jobs. They just do garage sales. But then again, the quality of stuff is more towards like antiques and furniture.
I saw so much good stuff when I went down there and had a micro meetup with the Green Roomers. Like, I found some crazy stuff.
You were in Naples, right?
Naples, and
that's like the highest. Yeah, Naples is like the highest square miles per millionaire per square mile or something in the state, and like the entire United States. It's crazy.
I can tell you that we went to houses that definitely weren't owned by millionaires that had really good stuff. So anyway, I thought it was just like, and it was like 11:30 in the morning. We were like all just so tired because we hadn't had our dopios, and there were still garage sales going on in that neighborhood. So anyway. All right, so let me get the last one up. Skippy, you were part of this one. I'm going to show you, and you're going to be like, no way. Do you remember this thing?
Yeah.
All right, so what's the story behind this thing, CP?
Well, we were doing work on my bike, I think, and we went to a bike shop to get a quote or to get a part or something.
After the garage sale, right along for the green room meetup.
Yeah. You had like been telling me, oh, I know this bike shop that will sell the part, or this bike shop sells used parts. And I was like, okay, cool. So we like went in, we just popped in. You're like, but we only got like 2 minutes to do it.
Yeah, we didn't have very much time. So you're finding the bike part, right?
Yeah, and then they have a clearance table.
And that's where I am.
Yeah, you're in the clearance table, like looking at stuff.
I'm not looking at stuff. I'm scanning stuff. But anyway, so I'm scanning stuff at this clearance table, and my eyes gravitate towards this box with all these upright, linear-looking things, which turn out to be fairings. And I know what they were because obviously they're stamped Thule, and you're like, all right, that's obviously not a bike rack in there because there's like these boxes that are like this thin, and they're really tall. They're like a yard tall, some are 24 inches tall, but they're pretty tall. They're all stacked in this box, and the box says 20 on each one. Some have 15 or whatever, and I see like just up and down
super
the box.
marked. That's like way marked down. Even like their MSRP was probably over 100, like maybe 120, or around there when they first came out.
Yeah, so I bought all of them. So I was like looking at it, I was like, oh my God, gold mine. Like I scanned a couple of them. I was like, oh my God, gold mine. So at that point, I was like, I don't need to scan the rest of them. Like that's it. I can do some addition in my head. I know how many I'm looking at here. And I'm buddies with that person at the bike shop. The man, it's a pretty big bike shop. It's a corporate bike shop too. So like I'm still buddies with the person at the corporate bike shop. I'm like, hey, I like all of this stuff. So can you make me a deal on everything? And he was like, dude, how about like 228 out the door or something like that? Or that's what it was, 228. And so I was like, holy crap. And I'm doing the things in my head. I'm like, oh, that's a really good deal. So I paid immediately. We take it out on a cart. It spills out on the sidewalk because College Picker wasn't looking at the cart, or something was like, there was something that I think
it was like a huge drop.
Yeah, there was like a huge drop, and I do it with the cart, and it like goes flying into the middle of the street. All this stuff scatters everywhere. Anyway, in the midst of us getting it back into the, whatever, College Picker's like, how much are, like, what do you think? And I was like, well, these really long ones, I'm thinking like best case scenario, like 256, 275. He's like, no way it's going to sell for that much. I'm like, all right, like maybe it won't, but the ranks were a little on the high side, but I don't care. Like that's just one of those. Like
my thought process of why it wouldn't sell that much is because the compatibility isn't an issue for the fairing. Like you could get a newer one for, I don't know, 100, maybe 120. That's where I was getting that figure from. So if you can get a new one that's completely compatible with your setting, there's no reason to get this like outdated, out of manufacturer one for $300 or $250. So that was my thought process on it.
Yeah. The weird thing was after I looked harder into it, like these were really made for perfect widths on like Subaru WRXs and certain cars, like only, and it only went on certain rails. Like some of the rails are, oval. Some of them are like really odd ovals. Some of them are like circular.
So the actual clips are different. The actual
and if you look at the clips, you can start seeing like now it becomes more specialty. You see what I'm saying?
Okay. So those are like aero bars.
Yeah, so like this went to a very kind of like, anyway, so I popped on all of them. I pretty much sold through just about everything, whether it was on eBay or whatever. I have made over a G on that entire hustle for sure. But the first ones that did sell for 256. Just so you know, 4 sold for 256. I got 2 returns on them. They both got damaged out, and I got 186 on those.
Okay.
So I still made money on the whole thing, but that was a crazy hustle. And that's like one of those things, like I didn't really get much out of, I mean, I was the one driving.
You weren't even looking to hustle. You were like looking to get a bike part for me.
I was also looking like,
so funny.
It would be nice to make money while the green roomers are in town at the garage sale caravans, the thing that we do every year. But that wasn't high on my list. High on my list was like making sure everyone had fun, driving the van responsibly, and taking good vlog for you guys to see in YouTube land. So when I saw this, I was like, wow, that's my calling for like to have a good garage sale day when I wasn't able to really buy anything, because I don't want to be like, oh, the Bonafide hustler, he totally snaked something from under me. And I flew all the way to Austin, Texas to meet him all, and Bonafide totally like just owned the whole garage sale. I don't want to do that. So, but Eric, you found a really amazing thing at that garage sale. You want to keep it as a bolo for the green room, Heineken? Yes or no? I'll just get it. That's
yeah, it's on. It's that's on one of our. That's on our 30 days of bolos. The Heineken.
Okay,
but
yeah,
people have. Yeah, there's the that's the little tip, I guess, or the.
Henry S says, "Oh,
teaser."
Yeah, here's the thing. Henry S says Amazon deducts for damages. Amazon will refund you money if they damage the product, but if it's sold, the FBA fee is gone. Like that's just one of that you are out that FBA fee. Does that make sense? Because it already went to the customer, came back, they damaged it. the FBA fee is out of the picture. Like you don't get to recoup that. So that's the reason why I didn't get 256 on 2 of those other ones. I got 180 something 3 or whatever. Anyway, okay, so as if I haven't asked you guys enough to like the video, we're at the very end of the show. We've gone 13 minutes over. I hope you enjoyed it. We tried hard to give you good content. A lot of fun flipping items. Okay, I mean, from the bottom of my heart, like I love doing this crap. Like it's a lot of fun. Every Saturday morning, I'm out there with my brother, just hustling. If you're ever in Austin, Texas, like Miner's Treasure, I'm gonna be meeting up with him. He's in the feed, and you want to go garage selling, let me know. That being said, get the free guide. It's the first link down below. Put it one last time in the feed. We want you to have it. And
it's got the bats in it. It's got the robot in it. It's got a ton of other things in it. And it will put you on the email sequence to get the in-depth bat thing. That'll give you some tips. Yeah. You bought that bat for $1 and sold it for like $400. Like that is crazy.
Yeah, I've never even sold a bat for that much. Think about that. The other bat was 120. That was already another home run right there.
Yeah, well, 120 and 400 is like added. It's ridiculous. Yeah. Like 120 is great, but 400 is like unfathomable to some people. Like if you just walked up to someone on the street and was like, "Hey, I bought something for $1 and sold it for 400," they would think you're a nutcase.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. But yeah, hats off to all the people that helped me along this journey. So I do want to give a big shout out to CP and the whole entire green room, not only staff, but members that are there, that we all help each other. So I always want to say, like, big portion of my education has come from the actual thing that I created, which is the Green Room University. You can check it out at greenroomuniversity.com. Get the free guide if you get a chance. And I won't be on next week's show, but Raken's going to be hosting it on his channel. Big things coming from Raken Profit as well. I just talked to him on the phone earlier. Really big, awesome things. Some of it's making it to YouTube, and some of it will be in the Green Room as well. So really good stuff around the corner. But I guess that's pretty much it for anyone that's wondering how they can get in touch with us. You can check us out on Facebook at The Bonafide Hustler. Subscribe to his channel, College Picker on YouTube.
Send me a message on Facebook. No one ever sends me messages.
I get them a lot now. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope to see you guys one day in real life. And it looks like the next time I'll be seeing a whole bunch of people will be at ASD at Vegas. Check us. We'll be doing the wholesale thing over there. And then the big green room meetup, which is July 15th in Austin, Texas. You don't want to miss that. That is a big, big deal. So anyways, good to see you guys. Take it easy. Hit the like button. See you on the next Hangout. Bye-bye.